I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? Psalms 121, 1. One of these days, Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray, and he spent the night praying to God. Luke 6:12. After he dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Matthew 14:23 through 24. Sometimes I need a reminder that all these other things in life that pull me down and weigh me down and make me worry don't matter in comparison to God and how big He is. Why am I telling you all of these verses about mountains? Because sometimes you need to go off grid, stop what you're doing, disconnect, and refocus on God's creation, His handiwork, and just listen, be still, be quiet, and just look at all of great things He's done. It puts things into perspective for me. I don't know about you, but just looking at the mountains puts me in awe. It humbles me and makes me remember that I'm small and God's huge, He's big, and they can handle anything. The Bible says by His power, He has forged and built these mountains. And it's just a reminder to me, because God is bigger than our problem. He's bigger than anything we're facing. So just come with me, join me, and watch this video and just be still and listen. And remember, God's in control. God's on the throne. Sometimes life throws so many things at us from so many directions. We need to go like Moses and have a mountaintop experience with God and remember who He is and what He's done. So we did our snowmobile tour, or so we tried. Things happen along the way, which you'll see here in a few minutes. But before I tell you this story, I just want to remind you, sometimes there's delays in life. Sometimes we get detoured and things don't go as we plan or as we expected. And we have to listen and be still to figure out what's going on, because we can't see over the trees. We can only see what's in front of us. First of all, we met this amazing guy named Rudy before our trip even started, and he was our tour guide. And we also had another tour guide named Wyatt that helped, who was awesome. Thank you both so much. But Rudy recently, last year, was attacked by a grizzly bear in the forest. And it's a miracle he's alive. He was looking for a deer that his friend had shot, and they went into the forest to find it. And there the grizzly bear was, looking right at Rudy. And he was by himself because they had split to go look for this deer. This grizzly bear comes charging at Rudy. He pulls out his rifle. Of course, guess what? It jams. So Rudy's stuck. Nothing he can do, right? The grizzly bear attacks Rudy, grabs him by the face, and rips a lot of his face up. Luckily, Rudy's friend found him later, laying there, and they got a life flight to Rudy and was able to get him out of the forest, which this is pretty close to where all of this happened, where we were snowmobiling. So of course we were on edge and we were ready for anything, and we were protected. Rudy had brought some guns to keep us safe, but you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's around the bend. You always got to be ready and be on guard. But Rudy survived. God had a purpose for him. He's still here. He's amazing. Great tour guide, by the way. But it makes you remember how precious life is. It's a reminder how precious our time is here on earth, and that life really is a vapor. Which brings me to our next point and the rest of the story. I said we did not get to have our full snowmobile tour experience. About 15 minutes in, something very scary happened, something that can make your heart stop instantly. We're driving along, and I have Noah and Scarlett behind me on the snowmobile, but behind me is Kandice and my youngest daughter, Harper. They're driving the snowmobile. We're going uphill. Everything's going great, just like in life. Sometimes everything's going smooth sailing. All of a sudden, Noah says, "Dad, stop. Mom's snowmobile has flipped," which shocks me, and I almost freeze. Like, I don't know what to do. The worst thoughts come to my mind. The bad thoughts start taking over. I'm thinking, oh my God. I glance back. Harper and Kandice are really on their side. The snowmobile's on top of them. It looks like they're crushed from my point of view. I think to myself, my first thought is, oh my God, they've crushed their head, or Harper's neck is snapped. All I can hear is Harper screaming. She's hurt. So I at least know she's alive, but the worst thoughts come to your mind. You don't know how bad they're hurt. I get off and I run over there and I help lift the snowmobile off, and Kandice is screaming because it's on her ankle, which really hurts. Thank God it was only a sprain. Another scary thing is we're out in the National Forest of Big Sky, Montana. There is no cell phone service whatsoever. So if something happens, you're on your own. Nobody was severely hurt. Just a little beat up, but nothing that won't heal. No broken bones, thank God. Scarlett's crying. She's so worried about Harper and Kandice. And Noah's in shock. We're all in shock. And all I can do is pray. I'm like, God, please. I'm begging God, please let them be okay. It's all happening so fast. It's a rush. So Rudy immediately gets Kandice and Harper back on a snowmobile, and he gets them back to the car. And as we're going back, I'm just thinking, I'm trying to get all of the other kids ready so we can all follow suit. And I'm just praying because they're ahead of us. I'm praying, God, please let them make it down that mountain safe. Please let everything be okay. It's such a scary experience. And just like in life, things hit us all of a sudden out of nowhere. You're not expecting it. You're expecting to go to do this, to do that. You have your own vision of what you want to do. And then all of a sudden, boom, something train wrecks your plans and derails what you want to do. And this moment here also helped remind me to be present in their life, their every moment, to enjoy everything, because we're not guaranteed the next moment, the next second, the next day. So we need to be present for not only our children, our family, but this is a reminder to enjoy every day, every moment, and every experience. But a big thanks to Rudy and Wyatt. They got us back safely off the mountain. It was supposed to be a 3-hour tour, but we only got 15 minutes. But what we did get to see was beautiful. And maybe next time we'll be able to try it again, and we'll be able to get to the top of the mountain. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed getting to watch some of this video footage. It was a beautiful trip to Wyoming and Montana. We had to skip around Idaho as well, but getting to see God's handiwork and His touch in everything is really a reminder that God's on the throne, God's here, and God is present, and God is in the midst of whatever you're dealing with. And just remember, you're important, you're special, you're unique, you're loved, and you have a purpose. All right, guys. If you're not already subscribed, please click that like button and subscribe, and join us for some more Gillespie adventures wherever God takes us. I appreciate it, and I'm so glad you watched this video, guys. We'll see you next time. Be safe.